Now, so that actually means is we know for a fact that the most active squares for the queen are along here in this position, and for the bishop we know these are the most active squares. We know that the bishop can come to unharmed there. Now the bishop opening is a very, very strong opening, but typically you go from the least valuable to the most valuable. So you're going to move your knight, but what's so strong about this move is that the knight hasn't actually gone to f3, and there's all sorts of ideas for a kingside attack. There's all sorts of ideas for the knight, and you can actually have a very, very strong setup, and you can play very, very strongly and so on. So it's not so simple. f3 is a better square, but we'll talk about that. And so it's not a bad opening at all. It actually follows the rules, which is to play with your pieces and to remember it's the development momentum theory. Momentum is the value by the activity. So the bishop's value is 3.5. It's now attacking 1, 2, and 3 squares in their territory. So obviously 3.5 by 3. Okay, so you can do the maths on that. Now, development is forced by the change of time. Okay, and that is so important. It's why we work out that why force is such a value. It's like it's the change of it's valued by the change of activity over a change of time. So we can see here now that the weakest pawn in their structure is being targeted for attack. An easy way to think about it is you're threatening checkmate. Alright, that's how weak it is. So obviously a change of momentum is another way of saying development. So development and momentum, or a change of momentum, is development. Or another way of saying it in physics is impulse. You're impulsing the position, you're getting it moving, and you're activating. And that's why development count is so significant. So, I don't know if you can hear a plane buzzing me. Okay, so for another way of looking at force is change of momentum over a change of time. But we won't get into the nitty-gritties of the maths of it all. But just at a basic level here, we can see that White's advantage of moving first is significant because White is getting momentum, getting that momentum. Now, putting the knight here on f3 means that it's got all sorts of, it's got two squares that it's attacking in their half of the board. It does, but it reduces the activity of the queen, and potentially it could be subject to a pin, which basically binds their energy, binds their ability to move. Okay, so another way of saying pin is time binding. It's a very, very good word. Now, obviously activity is number of squares in their territory, so force is a very, very important thing. Now, we won't get into conserving your momentum, and we won't get into all these other things, but the development momentum theory of chess is basically about rapid development, but it's not just about rapid development and not wasting any time. It's also about creating structure with your position. Now, I'll give you an example.